We first spoke on this program. It was when you just been on Questions. Actually, it was before you were on Questions.
Well, I had pre-cancellation.
Pre-cancellation. I mean, this obviously is ancient history for you now, but would you say that since then, right up to now, that you have felt that the problem we face is far deeper than you could ever have imagined? I mean, that's what many of us, at least, including me, feel.
Yeah, because we've and I love us for this, and I think that it's so wonderful that the Brits are like this. We think the establishment around us and the systems that support it and us are there for our well-being. They're not. They're not. They've been, every single one of them, pretty much, and we're about to find out with the judiciary and the Bad Law Project, which haven't been infiltrated. But you've got every single institution that I've come across has been infiltrated, and the desire to hold on to power, certainly in regards to, I mean, just look at the ridiculousness of the church's position with Calvin, to turn around and say we're institutionally racist, to a white woman saying that to a black man.
That was the Bishop of London, wasn't it, Sarah?
I call her Mrs. Mullally. I can't quite get to Sarah or Dame.
Right.
She's Mrs. to me.
Right.
She's an anti-Christian non-believer, like the rest of the Church of England, like the 25 bishops and their Rwandan national shame plan. I mean, what's their view, for example? What's the bishop's view on stopping people trafficking across the channel? But these woke virtue signalling anti-Christians are stopping a man who wants to serve God and who is an impeccable record. And they're also spending their time smearing him at the moment.
But aren't they destroying themselves? Shouldn't you just let them get on with it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, they appear to be.
I think that I used to live in a little village in the country, and the two places where people went were church and the pub. And not necessarily because they were Christians, but because they got together and it was one of the gathering places. So I think people should want to, if they want to go to places of worship, they should be able to go to places of worship and know that they're going to be taught scripture, not be preached at about climate change or British deporting policies. Yes, we can let them rot and fester, but they are our treasured institutions and we want them. All it takes is for a Christian to be in charge of the Church of England or to be the Archbishop of Canterbury, and you're back on track.
But because we talked quite a lot, haven't we, about starting your own institutions and taking these things on. Calvin has kind of gone, hasn't he, to another, would you call it denomination? I don't know. But
DAFCON, yeah.
Yes, but I mean, would you do something? I mean, you're a man of personal faith, aren't you? I mean, have you presumably given up on obviously you've given up on Church of England. What would you do there? I mean, would you become totally, would it be a personal thing for you entirely now, or would you go to a new church?
Well, I think there's a bit in the Bible, isn't it, that says when you gather in my name, gather in twos and threes or something like that.
Yes,
I think most of my Sunday dinners with my mates are like that, I think it's about gathering and talking and discussing and being serious about the things that one can be serious about. I just think it's such a shame that this great and wonderful institution is fallen, and we're all watching it, and you're watching it everywhere. You're watching it with sport, the health service, the legal profession, education. You're just like, where are these kids going to get a chance from cradle to grave? They're being stopped. Obviously, you have also this whole idea that people say, which is teach children how to think, not what to think. You can't teach a child how to think unless you give them a foundation to think from, which are our Judeo-Christian values and are our Enlightenment values, that have been developed over all of these years. So you can't just go think what you want to think. Otherwise, a child may go, well, I'm a non-binary, transgender furry. So we need the institutions. They're important. They protect us from those that wish us ill. And I want sensible people in charge of them, not ideologues.
Yes. How one gets that is the big question, is it not? I mean, we filmed in Hungary quite recently, did a program in Hungary. And they are going about trying to create a future small c conservative elite in order to, fill institutions. Of course, the left see this as terribly, terribly kind of sinister. But in fact, all it is just simply a challenge to something that they've been in charge of for years.